Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair. You will have seen these before if you're a regular viewer on the channel. So I have two BN Sports boxes here. These have a subscription on which shows, well, sport because it's BN Sport, okay. This one I've repaired before and I put a screw in here because the previous problem with this is that they had broken the HDMI connector or damaged the PCB. I don't quite remember, it was a little while ago, and I put this screw in to hold the thing more rigid with the idea that it would prevent them from doing the same thing again. This one hasn't been used for a while. It has no subscription on it, but we could put a subscription on this box. They need this running in time for the Euros, European Cup, whatever you want to call that football thing, because I don't actually follow football, okay, but I guess you know what I mean. So I need to either get one of these two working or get them a replacement box by then. And because it takes some time to get a replacement box sent over here, I better get onto it quickly. So I've picked these up this morning. Let's have a look straight away to see what is what with them. So when I mentioned I put this in probably a vain attempt to stop them from breaking it again, they said that it started like giving like red or purple picture, not a proper picture, and now they put the HDMI in and it just says no signal. And they said this one does the same, which is a bit strange, but there you go. I don't have the power supply, but I have a connector that will fit in here. I can use my bench supply. I do have remote control somewhere for these, but to be honest, if I can get a picture out of the thing, then even if it's just the menu on the screen, I know I've fixed it, okay? So let's have a look. We'll plug the first one in. I do have a satellite dish, by the way. I can actually get a picture on these if I want to. Firstly though, let's see if I can replicate the same problem they're having. 12 volts. Okay, so drawing 250 milliamps, green light is on the box, okay. Connect to the HDMI lead because that will help and see what we get. Just move these leads so they don't short each other. Yeah, sort of flashing red and green on the front. That normally means it's booting up. Yeah, and we'd probably now say there's no signal from the satellite dish because it's not attached. But in fact, it's just gone out. It's now on green, flashing again. So I would say they're right with this one. Doesn't appear to have any signal coming out, any video coming out, okay? Just switch it off again. Back on again, let's have another quick go. Green light. Flash red, green, red, green, red, green. That's what they would normally do. And then green goes off. That's not quite normal. Normally, oh, there, we're back on green. Normally it'll come on green and stay on green. So that one doesn't seem to give a signal. Let's try this one. So HDMI, power. Again, I just need to rearrange these a little bit. Okay, better. Right, power. Same sort of thing, drawing about 250 milliamps. Green light comes on the front. That one gives a picture, yeah, so it says be in. So that one actually works, and we could put a subscription onto this box if we need to. But this one is the one they were using. Let's see if we can fix this. Maybe it's just got a broken HDMI connector again. I can't transfer the subscription from one to the other, and I can't put the card from this one to this one because they paired to the box. So the only way they can use the subscription that's on here, which currently has a subscription, is if I can repair the box. Okay, so bit of glue in here. I probably added this actually last time I repaired it. Get a screw out of here. You can see how rusty this gets, by the way. This is from a pool bar in a hotel, which is basically right by the sea. Everything metal gets corroded basically quite easily. I can't see any problems from this side of the board. Let's have a look at the other side. You can see it's not very level. Do you know, I thought I had that level when I soldered it before, but who knows? Can we get it to focus in there? Probably not. Let me try the microscope. Well, there isn't a lot to see there. Obviously I could resolder this, but there's not a lot to see here, to be quite honest. Or with this side, I mean, physically that looks pretty much okay. As I mentioned, it's not very level. Maybe that's how I got it the first time around when I repaired this. It's been working for quite a long time since then. Okay. Let's look inside the HDMI connector itself. Okay, so that looks okay. Pretty much. A bit more white down the side there if I can. Maybe a little bit of corrosion, but nothing bad really, particularly. Looks pretty much okay. Right, so what we're going to do with this one. In addition to the HDMI, this also has composite video output, so composite video, left and right audio. I'll try connecting this to my TV with the phono plugs or RCA plugs, whatever you want to call them. If this gives a picture, then we know for certain this is working. There's just some problem with the communication from here to the TV via here, yeah? So let's have a look. Let's see if that gives us any sort of output. I've got the TV set to AV input now. Unfortunately on my TV, the AV input is a little bit iffy. Okay, green LED is on. Oh look, you see we have a picture. So we know that the problem is with this HDMI. I don't think cleaning will help, but I'll give it a clean, and I'll also just reflow the solder on all the pins as well. You never know your luck with this sort of thing. Oh look, that tells us something, doesn't it? Ah, I didn't spot that before. Back to the microscope. Okay, so now we see what's wrong with it. That might actually be the connector itself that's broken. Oh no, I can see it moving up and down. That's why it's at an angle as well. It seemed a bit strange. I wouldn't have had this thing flat when I fitted it. Right. Well, it's not happy, is it? Let's try resoldering it first. Okay, I've added some flux. I'm just trying to think the best way to do this. Well, you can see where that's broken away. Okay. I'd like to heat this up sufficiently so I can actually push this connector all the way in again. Whether I can do it is another matter. I had some heat resistant gloves, but I'm not sure where they are. Okay, let's see. Otherwise, I'll probably just unsolder it and resolder it. And this is a leaded solder, so it should melt fairly well. I'll get a good amount of solder on here, see if I can get the thing to push in. I'm not sure it will. Okay. Too hot and I can't do it. Thought I probably wouldn't. I think in all fairness I'm going to unsolder it and then remount it on here. I may have some more of these as well. Okay. So unsoldering, I'm going to use hot air to do that. There we go. So literally that just fell out of the board. Yeah. I put this on here just to give it a bit of weight, by the way, to stop the board toppling over when I did that. While this is hot, let's just see if we can clear off a lot of this old solder. Okay. Let's just clean it up and have a look. Okay, so that looks good to me. No damaged tracks or anything like that. Other side also looks good. No damaged tracks again. All white, you can see, yeah, that's fine, that is. So the next problem now is going to be to clean the solder out of the holes. I'm going to use a vacuum desoldering tool for this. I'm really not going to mess around with this thing. That is by far the easiest way to do something like this. And I'm going to do it from this side because it's easier, I think, to get some heat into the solder on this side than it is on that side, okay? The connector itself, well, it looks like we got one broken off pin here, but I seem to recall that that happened when I took it off the scrap one it came from, and that this actually went through the board okay. So I'll just clean that up, which is on this one. Okay. The rest look fine, but we can just make sure that's sitting in the board correctly before we solder it. To do this, guys, warm the thing up first. This is the important part. Get it nice and warm. I may have to add fresh solder, but this has been soldered before, so this will be leaded solder, which is a bit easier to work with. Okay, so I've got some warmth in. Now come in with the desoldering gun. Heat at the same time, see if it does anything. Yeah. 2 at once, how about that? Okay. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be working now. That means the thing could be a bit clogged up. They do this. Yes, it's okay. Try again. If it doesn't want to play ball now, I'll put a bit of fresh solder on these. It must have been slightly clogged up actually. Okay. There are certain jobs, guys, having the right tools is pretty much like a part of the job, yeah? Oh, that wasn't good, was it? Instead of taking the pad off. Hopefully the reason the pad came off is because there was nothing connecting to it. Couple more. Right. Isn't one here, is there? No. So not a perfect job, that one. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes. The pad came off here. Now, it's often that will happen if there's nothing connected, like a track. Otherwise, if there'd been a track, it would have probably ripped the track and we would be able to see it. So this bottom row, third one up, connects on this side. So if we make sure we have a connection from here to here, and we'll solder this one first. I'll probably just get the mounts in. Then once we know we have a good connection there, we can solder the rest, yeah? Just while that's cooling down, I've actually noticed this has a pin missing. That's interesting because it didn't sort of come off when I unsoldered it. You'd expect to find that. Maybe I do have something here. Let's have a look. No, that's just a bit of solder. So this has one broken one here and one missing one here. Okay. Let me see if I have any more of these connectors anywhere. Yeah, I have another scrap one here, so we can take the connector off this one. Similar technique, I'm going to warm it up a bit, get a bit of leaded solder out, and then use hot air to unsolder it the same as I did the other one. Flux in there. Warm it. Okay. Some leaded solder. I don't really care if it bridges the pins or not. It'll just help to solder it. I think that's more of it to take effectively to add to the unleaded solder that's on there already. Okay. Not too sure how much that helped, but hey, it didn't do any harm. Yeah, it didn't do any harm. So, we'll flux right. Again, I'll just rest something heavy on the back of there. Yeah. Okay. It's loose. Out. Well, that one certainly came out in one piece. Okay, I'll let it cool down a bit. It's too hot to handle it at the moment, and then we'll try to put this one on our receiver and see if it fixes it. Okay, so that's held in place just by the mounting points here. Okay. Now, can we get some solder into this one where the pad came off? Let's see. Again, I'll give it a bit of warmth. This is going to help a lot. Okay. Just this one with the broken pad. It is here. That one. Is it soldering? Well, it's easy to get to it on this side because it's this one. Okay. And it goes to here. Just need to scratch that a little bit so I can just get a contact onto it. I think I have it. Yeah, hear it? Okay, so we have a good contact there, so we're fine with that. I mean, if we didn't, I would have scraped a bit away and soldered the wire from here to there, okay? Let's solder the rest of them. You can do this with a chunky soldering iron tip as long as you add plenty of flux. Okay. It's not a problem. The flux will basically stop the solder from going where you don't want it to. Okay. This lot might be a bit more tricky in the middle. especially as I'm not using any magnification because I've got it on so you guys have the magnification. Yeah, so it makes it harder for me, but hey. I can use the screen, but then I have no depth perception. You see what's happened there? It's not a problem. I'd be better under the microscope, the optical one. Okay, how about that? Next one. Okay. Again, same thing happened. Not a problem. Because that is not a problem. Okay. That's the flux that's basically letting me do this. Again, not a problem. This is all one pad, it really doesn't matter. Right, other side. I do have a fine tip solder, I could use it, but I'm comfortable enough with this one. Okay. Right, let's clean that up and have a look. Okay, so that looks good. Almost professional, I would say. Yeah, that is pretty good. Other side, much better now. Yeah, much better. Let's see if this is working. Okay, there's the TV, but we need to set it back to HDMI, yeah, because it's on AV at the moment from that previous test. So HDMI it is. Otherwise that would have confused things. Okay. Power it up. Green lights on. And we have a picture. Okay, so guys, that one is repaired. These sort of jobs are not so difficult. If, like me, you're an old hand, you've been at this a long time, I know a lot of you guys are, this sort of soldering is not difficult. And if you can just master it, and it doesn't take a great deal to master it, it can be quite profitable because there's not a lot of people who will do this, yeah? And if you can find the work, then just being able to do this really can be quite profitable. Yes, it helps a lot with the right tools, but that's true of anything. Having the right tool for the job is often the key to doing the job, yeah? If you can't do it, you're not using the right desoldering equipment, you're not using the right sort of soldering iron, or you're not using the right sort of flux, hot air, etc. Okay. I use the Quick 861DW. I've had this for 5 years now or something like that. The T12 soldering iron down here. This is my Sugon T26D with a much finer tip. You can work with this, but personally I think that does a pretty damn good job of it. Okay. The flux you saw was this one if you're interested. So this is the NC-559-ASM. This is from AliExpress, cheap. I'm sure this is non-original. Okay. Solder makes a difference. So again, this is AliExpress. This is HX-T100. I found this to be about the best of all the cheap solders on AliExpress. It works really well. I gave some to my friend Detlef, and Detlef now tells me this is his go-to solder, yeah. He agrees with me. Okay, so guys, hope you enjoyed that little job done. I'll make some good money from it because Otherwise, it would be like a whole load of problems replacing the satellite receiver for them. If you like to let us all know what type of soldering iron and flux and solder you prefer to use, what hot air you prefer to use, get into the comments, let us all know. And if you would do that in a different way, let us all know. I mean, to my mind, the only wrong way is a way that doesn't work. Yeah, if it works, it's the right way. That's my view of it, regardless of however many other right ways there are. If it works, it's right. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to seeing you all soon on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.